thinking that he really still has a heart for you. It's not that it's never the case now, but don't think by default anytime that a man hits you up and he says, man, I miss you. You know, I've been missing you. That is really coming from a sincere place of my heart is still yours. Like this love that I have that's genuine, it ain't faded away. I know that's what a lot of times you might project onto him based on how you're feeling or based on how you've been feeling or based on what you heard from somebody or you always thought a man meant whenever he did that because a lot of men are vulnerable and this is him being vulnerable and putting pride aside. But do not be fooled. A lot of men don't miss you whenever they say that. They're just bored, horny, heard that you were moving on and failed to replace you. I'm going to be straight up with you. Y'all know I'm your big brother. I'm going to always give you the game. Free game, by the way. Not every game that I give is free, but this one right here, this is free. And I want to go a little bit deeper. We did a Self-Crown live chat last night. And that's my private mentorship group, by the way. That's where I really go in. But anyway, one of the questions I saw, and this was actually in our little private thread, was a woman trying to basically navigate that. Because, truth is, it's nuanced. Sometimes a man does miss you, but a lot of times, and I'll just say this. I told her this already, but I'll tell y'all. And I broke it down like when a man had you and he played with you, when a man had you and he took you for granted, or things was cool up until you made him uncomfortable. You offended him, you told him no at some point, or y'all was cool, but then it just seemed like he just withdrew on his own. Like nothing really went wrong. Maybe a little bit past the honeymoon phase, like say month 2, month 3, or 6 months in or something like that. And, you know, the oxytocin isn't flowing or whatever. He just pulled back until he just had mental health problems and needed to go get his mind together and all these other things. I'm going to tell you, in any of those situations, that man does not miss you. He may come back around. He may want you back. He may want access to you again. But again, more than likely, he's bored. He's horny, heard that you were moving on, or failed to replace you. But a little bit deeper than that is understanding that a lot of times a man has a very difficult time separating his relationship with women from the relationship he has with his woman. So, I'm going to give y'all top level because I really went deep with her and the Self-Crown community. Relationship with women applies whenever you're single or just dating and you got different women and you know, it's just basically saying, okay, when something goes wrong, how do I fix this based on my relationship with women? And it's just like the saying, well, one man won't do, another man can. I never really liked that, but, you know, I get it. It's the same thing applies. If I need to fix a problem with this woman that's really within my relationship with women, I just need to go get another woman, right? I just need to go get another woman. Like, if you don't like a job, right, there's a million jobs out there. You go get another job. That's your relationship with jobs. But let's say you got your own business, it's a family business, and something ain't right with the family business. You ain't going out here getting another family business. You're going to fix that, what's going on in that business. You're going to figure out a way. You're going to get an investor. You're going to get a mentor. You're going to do something, but you're staying in this family business. This is your business. This ain't a job, right? So a lot of men, whenever they come with that whole I miss you, it's because they're struggling between the relationship that they had with women. They treated you as just one of the others. I'm just get another one. I'm just gonna replace her. I'm gonna fall back now because that's what they did when they were dealing with women. Instead of being present in a relationship with you as their woman and saying whatever's going on, we need to come and talk. We need to come and figure this out. We need to come to a resolution. We need to understand each other, hear each other. I need to wait. I need maybe the emotional justice. It just ain't settled yet, and we're seeing things through a biased perspective right now. Maybe there's some resentment going. Maybe I need to go get a third-party perspective. You have a lot of men who never separate their relationship with women in general from the relationship that they have with the woman that they've chosen. And that's where that regret sets in. So now, you guys are apart, right? And now he's back out there with women. Now the difference is nice and clear. Now the difference is clear. The women in general, they're going to show him why he has something really special in the woman he didn't make himself present in terms of how he was going to deal with her. Like, so now he's out there with women that really don't care about him unless he's going to pay a bill. You might have been with him and appreciated that he was provisional and, you know, willing to take on some things financially so you didn't have to stress and worry all the time. But if he didn't have it, you wasn't going to leave him. Now he out there with women. Now he out there with women, still smashing their ex, still soul tied to somebody while dealing with him, and it's going to hurt his ego because with you, he knew you had tunnel vision. Once you chose him and said you loved him, you was 100% on him. Nobody had access to you. You was curving dudes that honestly he couldn't even really compete with. But just because you chose him, you made him the upgrade. Now it's apparent how different it was. But when he got with you, he got familiar with you, and he never switched. Like, and that's the thing. You don't want a man to even try to switch when he gets in a relationship with you. You want a man who's already done the switching and getting ready and prepared before he meets you. That's a whole different conversation. But a lot of times a man will come with that whole, I miss you. I miss you. I just miss you. No, he regrets not appreciating you. And there's a big difference. There's a big difference. See, that regret is more of a guilty conscience. It's more of a heavy spirit. It's more of a shame. It's more of a, I'm stupid. It ain't love for you. It's shame within him. It's a hindsight 2020 moment. Like, you got a lot of dudes who get caught and they go to, like, you know, some crime or something like that. They go to prison. Man, I'm so how did I do this? But really, they're pissed they're in prison. They're just feeling the hurt of missing out on family events, of not being free. They're hurting. They don't really have a conviction for what they did wrong. They have a conviction that they've gotten in trouble and that they're missing out on life. So you have a lot of guys who don't really miss you, but they miss having that clear conscience. That's what's haunting them and tormenting them. Now, there are guys that will miss you and love you and that kind of, I'm not talking about that. You know, y'all fell out over something, neither one of y'all really put the work in, and it was real love there, and after the fact, that man telling you he missed you, he might, okay? I'm not here to vilify men. We got enough of that going on in the world. I'm not here to vilify men. I'm here to separate the men from the boys, the betas from the alpha males. The real alpha males, by the way. Because I talked about that in my master class. The alpha males have a certain level of self-awareness. And it ain't something we're born with, by the way. Any alpha male I know, myself included, we've been in that broken masculinity space at some point. And we suffered consequences. And then we got over that, right? We healed, we grew, we learned, we humbled ourselves. We let the ego completely break so that we can get to the other side where everything that we say, we mean, and it shows up in action form. But there are a lot of guys who haven't gotten there yet. And so they're still in that little circle. Like, you know, you got some guys who used to live like one kind of life and then they grow up and they're gentlemen now, they're fathers now, they're productive citizens. And you got some people 50, 60, 70 years old still playing the same old game. Age does not equate to maturity. So you have a lot of guys, and this is why you can't qualify, well, he's 45 years old. He's 55 years old. No. Is he mature? Has he shown any track record that what he says he means? Because he's saying, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. But the whole time in the relationship, you was missing him. He didn't care about you. He didn't want to talk. Everything that you wanted to talk about was an inconvenience. He discouraged you from bringing forth your concerns, but he missed you now? No. He's having think. No, he feels stupid. There's a difference between a man who genuinely misses you and a man who just feels stupid. Because he had you and then he lost you. And now the thought of somebody else being with you is haunting him. And like I say, it's a matter of emotional intelligence that a lot of men don't have, that whenever they're dating and in the streets, that whole women thing is cool. Like, you got a relationship with women. You know, you dating one woman is not doing it for you. Of course. Go ahead. Get you another woman. I say the same thing to y'all. Get you another man. If you dating, get you somebody else. I'm not about seriously dating multiple people at one time, but if you just talking and entertaining, oh yeah, don't be fixing in conflict resolution and no, that's for relationship. But when you get in a relationship, you can't treat her like you treated them. You can't play the games with her that you was trying to play with them. Really, you don't need to be playing no games at all, because that's when you lose. And now that he's lost you again, it's not that he ain't went out here, by the way. It ain't out because you know, getting familiar with a woman, no matter how amazing you are, if that man doesn't have the maturity to keep in mind how unique you are, he'll get familiar with you. Tell me if I'm lying. Y'all been in relationships with a man, I'm talking about you was blowing his socks off. I'm talking about you was cooking, you was cleaning, you was affirming, you was thoughtful on his birthday, you was lending him money and not even letting his ego get bruised by letting anybody else know. I mean, you just did it all for him. and he started treating you like you was average. Anybody ever been there? Don't speak of facts, put facts. That's because he got familiar. You see, it takes a certain level of maturity to not get too familiar with something that's unique. That's why I do believe that at a certain age, dating gets sweeter, because people got real experiences where they've disabused themselves of the notion that somebody who's like gold, somebody who's all for them, they don't think, oh, they're everywhere just because everybody posting that on Instagram, like, you know, everybody built like that for real relationships. Everybody posts about loyalty. Everybody posts about commitment. Like, everybody just really out there like that. It ain't but so many great ones. But we ain't got to get on that. He got familiar with you. And then when he went back out there to the streets, these girls that can't hold it. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all, man. I believe that as a woman, you could walk in your queen energy. There's some of y'all, man, that's just set apart from others. All women are created equal. All women don't move equally. You got some women that'll backbite, snake you for your man, lie on you if they see that you coming up in a career that they didn't put in the same work as you. Hey, look, I don't have this euphoria view of women, so I'm speaking balanced on both ends. I like to be fair. But there's some men who don't realize that until they go back out there and they get exactly what they want. They was with you, but missing all that freedom they once upon a time had with different women. And they get out here, and then they see, dang, she can't hold a conversation. My last girl, man, she was so in-depth with how she thought. She wanted to know my thought pattern. She paid attention to the little things and made life easier and more enjoyable. She spoke highly of me to anybody that knew me and people that didn't. They get out here with these other girls that haven't put in the work you put in. And it's like, man, yeah, this girl and that girl got good sex too, but in the back of my mind, and men know what I'm talking about, in the back of my mind, I can't even really enjoy it because I know this ain't just mine. Because ain't nothing worse. Hey, look, I'm speaking to y'all as your big brother today, man. Let's keep it all the way real. Ain't nothing worse than wanting to say, whose is this while you in it? And you honestly, you don't even want to say that because she mess around and get truthful with you that it ain't yours. Yeah, it's yours, Rodney's. Byron's. It's really my ex, but he ain't acting right now. You don't even want to hear that. Boy, ain't nothing worse. You be in there and you got to hold your tongue on certain things you want to say. Ooh, this is mine, ain't it? Because you run the risk of her really being real with you. So dudes go back out here to women that really ain't all there. And boy, the difference. Because with your woman, yeah, you know you can say that and it's definitely yours. If you ain't the one in it, ain't nobody else in it. You don't get that when you go back out there to the streets. Some of y'all want to be in the streets all your life, man. I had my time. And it is not what it's cracked up to be. But I'm not trying to just rant and rage. See, this is the thoughts of an alpha male, and I'm not alpha male because I say I'm an alpha male. I'm saying when I say alpha male, and I talked about this in the free master class, a man that's not just been through some things but grown from some things. A man who has been humbled by life enough to know he got a lot to learn and a lot of work to do, but he's certain and he's clear about where he's going and how a woman or anybody, friends or whoever, plays a part in that. So as you come into an alpha male's life, you don't deal with uncertainty. You don't deal with stagnation. You're dealing with that from a man, or you're dealing with feeling like you're constantly chasing the carrot to get his attention or keep his attention, keep his affection. You're not dealing with an alpha male. And that's the kind of guy that eventually will lose you and then realize what he had after he's already damaged, ruined, broken the trust with it, and then lost it. I talked about this, man, in my master class. If you missed the master class, matter of fact, that's not even one I was trying to post. I actually did talk about it in there. What your ex thinks about after fumbling. You my bad. This was a follow-up from the alpha male master class. So, what your ex thinks after fumbling you, especially when he's talking about I miss you. I decode that. I decode the actions. I decode the smear campaign. I decode the new relationship, that he's in a serious relationship and he's being everything to her that he told you he was going to be. I decoded that in the masterclass, what your ex thinks after fumbling you. It's a follow-up to the masterclass that I had taken down, the Alpha Male, the Secrets to Alpha Male masterclass. So we're supposed to live and learn, but not all do? Absolutely, Dawn. So, if you want access to that masterclass, click the link. I pinned it right here down in the comments. It's also in the caption whenever you back out. But moral of the story is this: do not listen to any man that's talking about he misses you. Oh, I miss you. When in the way that he treated you during the relationship left you missing the version of yourself that you were before you met him. See, some of y'all ain't never really been through a lot, so I know I ain't talking to everybody, but somebody caught that. If a man left you missing the version of you that believed in love, that could fully trust without having to peek over your shoulder and keep one eye open, if a man left you in a state where it felt foreign, the version of you that believed somebody could be all for you, all in on you, be just as proud of, to be with you, just in love with you as you were for them, and you missed that, like, I can't even, don't listen to nothing he's talking about when he talking about he misses you. He just missed his opportunity to continue playing with you. Now he got to face himself, and I said let him face it. Every consequence. Maybe it'll help him change his behavior, but that ain't none of your business. Your piece is. But those are just my thoughts. If you got anything of value from this conversation, I don't need no cash app, I don't need no money, I don't need none of that. But all I ask is that you pay it forward to somebody else. That's absolutely free, and you might just change your life. Hit that share button if you got something of value from this conversation. And if you want more free value, more free content, I went in on this masterclass, What Your Ex Thinks After Fumbling You. The link is right here down in the comments. It's coming down soon, so hurry up, register. More than an hour, I think. I went in on exactly how to decode what your ex might say and do after the fact to manipulate you into thinking you were the problem